Today we are taking our fills from this to this. Let's get started. What's happening, guys? Welcome in. Today, as I said in the intro, we are talking about fills and what we can do to expand them and make them more interesting, more musical, and more exciting. Now, we could do a 1 bar fill, which would go for the entire bar, and let's say it was 16th notes, so it would be like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... You know that round the world fill, that the kind of the first fill you ever learn. But what we're going to do is we're going to do what you're most likely to play, which is a half bar fill. And that means that it takes up the last half of a bar, which means it starts on beat 3 and ends again on the 1. Now we have 8 notes there, 3E and a, 4E and a. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 16th notes and we're going to play them all as singles. That sounds like this. So now we know what the fill is and how kind of dull and boring it is, let's do step 1. Now step 1 is orchestration. What is orchestration? Well, that's where you move something around the drums. It could be a fill, it could be a rudiment, it could be a lick, it could even be a groove that you orchestrate to different parts of the kit. Orchestration just means exploring the sounds that you have in your kit. When I tell that to students, they do this. Now, I think you'll agree that sounds a bit too random, kind of like a drum kit falling down the stairs. We don't want our fills to be like that. We want them to be musical, to be expressive, and to have some sort of shape. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to split those 8 notes into some smaller groups. Those smaller groups are going to be made of 2 numbers, but you could honestly do like 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 5 numbers. You could do in theoretically 8 numbers, which would be 8 lots of 1. I'm just going to stick with 2 for ease and for today's lesson, but please do explore it fully. Now you could do this in your head, but I do find it easier just to write stuff down. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and let's start writing down our 2 number combinations. So to start with, we've got 4 plus 4. We've then got 5 plus 3. We've then got 6 plus 2. We've then got 7 plus 1. And finally, we've got 8 plus 0. Now some of these we can flip, so obviously 4 plus 4 flipped is going to sound the same. 5 plus 3, however, is also going to be 3 plus 5. 2 plus 6, and then 1 plus 7. So now let me choose, I don't know, 5 plus 3. Sounds really cool. It's going to give us some really cool fills. Let's jump to the kit and I'll show you how we can orchestrate this fill. So now to start, let's just plant that group of 5. First 5 notes on the snare drum. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3E and a 4. Then we're going to move those 3 notes to toms, cymbals, stackers. If you have more toms, move them there. If you have less toms, move them there. So now let me show you me playing 5 notes on the snare drum and exploring the other 3 on different sounds. So now you've done that, let's move the first note of each group to the toms, but keep the other notes planted on the snare drum. So now that's going to sound like this. And now we've done the toms, let's do the cymbals. And when you hit that cymbal, just remember, you've got to hit that bass drum underneath as well. Unless it's a really small cymbal, if you hit a crash cymbal or like a ride cymbal or something like that, you need that balance added with the bass drum. So now step 2 is all about dynamics. We're going to take those groups and we're going to play the fill dynamically. But what are dynamics? Well, dynamics are where you play loud notes and a mix of quiet notes. It's not just playing everything loud or everything quiet. It's that contour and that shape that you create by going up and down with accents and ghost notes. So now instead of just randomly hitting accents, let's accent the first of each group and leave it on the snare drum to start with. And now let's accent the first 2 of each group. Again, leaving it on the snare drum. Sounds like this. And now let's accent the first of the group and the last of the group. Keeping it on the snare drum, that sounds like this. Now you've got those accents, let's move them around to the toms, let's move them around to the cymbals. Remember when you hit that cymbal, you've got to hit that bass drum, and you can create some really cool dynamic fills with loads of shape. Check it out. So you can hear how playing the notes on the snare drum soft, when you've moved away to the toms, adds another level of complexity and interest to the fill instead of just having everything at the same volume. Now that's only just 3 examples. You could accent only the right hands, you could accent only the left hands, you could do the first 3, or you can mix it up and improvise, and hopefully you get to the stage where you're comfortable improvising accents within these groups. So now step 3, this is where it gets interesting. We're going to change the sticking within those groups. We're still thinking a group of 5 and a group of 3, but now we're going to change the sticking, incorporate our feet, and we'll start to get some really cool patterns. Let's start thinking about our kick drum. Why don't we take the last of each group, the 5 and the 3 in this case, and play them on the kick drum. And what I'll do is I'll orchestrate it around the drums a little bit, starting on the snare, but then just getting a bit freer with it. That sounds pretty cool. What about if we played the first note on the kick drum? Do the same. That sounds like this. And what about the last 2 notes on the kick drum? Well, that sounds like this. So now if you're struggling to work out some potential stickings, take a sheet of paper and write them out. I start by writing out the groups I'm going to work with, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm just going to write in and just have a think about some potential stickings. So for 2, we could have right and left, so singles, or right, right, left, left. We could have right, left, kick for 3s, or right, left, left. For a 5, we could have right, left, right, left, left, right, left, kick. The combinations are endless, but writing them down makes it easier for you to look at a group of like 5 plus 3 and say, I'm going to combine this 5 with all of those 3, this 5 with the other 3s. That way you get a nice systematic way of working through this and creating some cool fills, which is what this is all about. What if we decided to combine this 5, right, left, left, with this 3, right, left, left? And let's move the accents. We're going to accent all the right hands, ghost all the lefts, move that around the drums, so maybe just on the toms or accent the snare drum, and you get this fill. So let me put all that together and create a fill that I think is pretty cool using these concepts I've just shown you of orchestration, of dynamics, and of stickings. So now let me break that fill down for you so that you can work it. Well, I'll play it slow and I'll play it medium and fast. Starts with a right, left, right, left, left. The first note, the right hand is on the snare drum, accented. Then we're going to play a left hand, pss, little hi-hat lift up there. Then move that right hand accent down to the floor tom. Then we're going to play 2 soft lefts on the snare drum. So there's our group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big massive kick, and then right, left on the snare drum. That's our group of 3. So right, left, left, kick, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So there you have it, 8 simple notes grown and expanded and explored to create an incredible amount of potential fills. Now we could add more notes and make the fill longer. We could change up the subdivision if we wanted to give us different numbers, so 16 note triplets, even 30-second notes, and you can mix and match them. Often what we do as drummers is we take a fill, maybe we steal it from a drummer or a YouTube guy, and we learn that fill verbatim. We don't ever explore it. So if you're learning a fill, you've transcribed something, you found something online, explore the orchestration, explore the dynamics, and explore different stickings and different shapes you can create within that fill. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next lesson. And I'd love to see what you guys can come up with these concepts. So film a video, tag me on Instagram. And if you really, really enjoy these lessons, if you want to go deeper, you want to grow your drumming, head on over to davemajormusic.com. That's my online lesson website. I'm sure you'll find loads of courses that will help you become the drummer that you really, really want to be. Till next time, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Lights go.